welcome to the Ninja Traders, where I go over investing advice, trading, and entrepreneurship. In today's video, I'm going to go over how I got a 773 credit score. I'll show you guys right now. I look it up on Credit Karma. It's a free app, free resource. This video is not sponsored by them, but if you can see my account, right now it's at 773. About a week ago, it was at 774, 771. It went down a point, which is fine. Your credit score will go up and down depending on several things, such as paying your bill on time, opening new credit lines, and the amount of credit history that you have. I'm going to go into detail into all of that. If you're interested in learning, keep watching this video. Great credit score so you can have a better interest rate on items you'd like to purchase, such as a house or a car or furniture. I didn't have a great credit score when I bought my first car. I believe the rate was about 26%, which is kind of an outrageous amount, but luckily I did have enough saved and I was able to pay it down. And if I had to do it over again, I would have started building my credit earlier. If you have a low credit score, then generally your interest on these items that you want to purchase and adult will be high. Having a great credit score shows the banks or whoever you're trying to get a loan from that you're a responsible person and you can make your payments on time and you're not going to default on your loan or anything like that. Now my credit score is 773. I'll put a screen capture if you weren't able to see it in the beginning, but it's 773 currently, and there are ways for it to increase that I'm going to give you guys. So these are some tips and advice on how to increase your credit score. 1, you want to pay your bills on time. So if you have a set date for when your bill is due for the month, make sure you pay it on time. Some places will charge a late fee, so save your money and pay your bills on time. The second one is to make frequent payments. So say your bill is due on the 8th of every month. I would suggest you pay 3 days before the 8th and then pay about 2 weeks before that. Credit companies like to see frequent payments made on your card. They also like to see a low balance on it. There's this time period of where your bill is cycled or issued, and also when the bill is due. So in that time period, I would make a very small purchase, and it shows that you are utilizing your credit, and it also shows that you are making your payments consistently. My third tip is to ask for a credit limit increase. What I do is I will call my bank and ask for an increase. They'll ask for your income and other information in order to see if you can get verified and accepted for a higher limit increase. Another tip I have for you guys is to keep your credit lines open. I did make a mistake in college by closing a credit card instead of keeping it open. I wasn't using it, it wasn't adding any interest or charging me anything to have it or own it. So I should have just left it open, but I didn't know any better. I thought having a bunch of credit lines and credit cards would negatively impact my credit score, so I ended up closing it. But if your credit card or credit line doesn't do that, if you're not being charged for it, you're being charged 0% for however much you have on it, I do suggest you leave it open. That way it shows on your credit report and your credit history that you have these multiple lines of credit and you've had them for years and years, building up to whatever amount of time. Another easy way to increase your credit score is by hitting the like button, where the credit card fairies will automatically increase your credit score to over 700,000%. If you see an error on your credit report, which I believe Credit Karma does show you, you can dispute it. And if it has impacted your credit negatively, then by disputing it and getting it off of your credit report, your credit score should increase. A little bit of my backstory: I started with 0 credit. I had no credit, which is why I paid 26% on my first car. The better your credit score, the easier it is to get a loan and for a higher amount. I like to use Credit Karma, which is a free app that you can download. It shows me my TransUnion score and my Equifax score. It also gives you advice and tips on what you can do in order to increase your credit score. If you'd like, I can give you a tutorial on how to use Credit Karma in another video and go over the features that they have. On my phone, I have written down my credit score history of what it was when I bought these items. So starting at 0, when I bought my first car, I had 0 credit. I had to pay a high interest rate. With my first car, the interest rate was outrageously high. When I went to go get my second car, because I no longer had the first one, the interest rate was lower because that car was completely paid off, and the bank saw that I made payments and I had a history of making payments. So the next car I was able to get slightly lower credit score. I believe it went, a slightly lower interest rate, which I believe was about 15%. What I would recommend you guys do if you don't have all the money to pay it out right, I would have as much as you can saved up, so that way when you find whatever the credit score is, you can pay it off as quickly as possible. The quicker you pay it off, the lower the payments overall will be, if that makes sense. It's like a snowball effect. If you were to pay off your interest rate with the most interest off first, you would end up saving more money than if you were to pay off the one with the less interest rate on it. This also depends on how much of a loan you have. My credit score when I bought my house was 730, and I was able to get about a little over 3% for my first house. I could have gotten a lower rate, but I would have had to put more down for that. So I chose to get the slightly higher rate because my broker told me it was going to be pennies in comparison to the slightly lower rate. So I figured, okay, I can still afford it, it's fine. And then when I bought my furniture, my credit score actually went up a little bit because of the house that I got and the payments I was making. So with the house, it was 730, and then with the furniture, it was 750. The key takeaways I have to summarize this video are to pay the minimum balance on your credit card and to keep your credit use low, as well as don't close any of your credit lines and pay your credit card frequently, especially if they're not charging you anything. Alright, so that pretty much sums up this video. Please hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of my future videos. It also helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!